Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel. So today we'll discuss an essay by Yuval Noah Harari called Humility. So without wasting our time, let's start our discussion. But before we start our discussion, my as usual request is if you are new to this channel and if you have not subscribed this channel, please do not forget to subscribe the channel, hit the like button, and if you like my lectures, please do not forget to share among your friends because your one sharing, your one like, and your one subscription motivates me. So please do not forget to do that. Okay, so let's start our discussion without wasting our time. So now look at here. Yuval Noah Harari or Harari starts his essay from very interesting point. He says that you are not the center of the world. Okay. So now look at here why Harari says that you are not the center of the world. Basically, Harari's main point here is to show how religious people are stereotypical, how religious people they suffer from crass egotism, how they believe that their religion, due to their religion, the origin or the universe originated, the life originated on this earth, or everything that we can feel or that we can see on this earth as human beings are possible due to their religion. So this is a kind of egotistical feeling of religion. This is what we call a kind of very stereotypical feeling of religion. So now look at here, dear learners, this is the major point where Harari so says that you are not the center of the world. Why you? You means he refers to all those religious people. You means here those Jews people, you means here Christian, you means here Hindus, and then you means here Muslims. So he comes up with examples. For example, now he starts from Greek. Okay, if we start looking at history, then now Greeks. So if we talk about Greek history, then we have to begin from Homer, Sophocles, Plato, and then all important ideas and inventions were born in Athens, Sparta, Alexandria, or Constantinople. So the problem with Greek people is that they believe that they are great philosophers. Homer, Sophocles, Plato, Socrates, and then Euphrates. These people were the sole responsible people for giving the whole rest of the society the ideas of knowledge, the ideas of different fields. So Greek people believe that it was so like their people, or it were their people who contributed for the development of this kind of whole knowledge system. Now then, the author Harari comes to talk about Chinese nationalists. So here, those people who are so much who are so much so imbued with nationalism, who are so much like engrossed with the feelings of nationalism. So they believe that all the origin of the universe, all the origin of the earth or human life are possible due to their ancestors. Look at here, Chinese nationalists, they also believe that the life, the civilization, all these so became possible because of this yellow emperor and the Xia and Shang dynasties. So these are the beliefs of Chinese nationalists who strongly believe that the origin of this world, the origin of the civilization, so goes to Chinese civilization. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So now moving ahead, when we come to talk about Hindus, their belief system, their philosophy about life, then Hindus they are one step ahead than other religious people because they believe that these nuclear weapons, these modern anti-crafts, these modern weapons, they were pre-invented by their ancestors. Had been already invented by their ancestors during those age when the battles of Mahabharata so took place, because in Hindu scriptures according to their logics these kind of airplanes, these kind of nuclear bombs, and they were invented by their ancient sages. So if we read those kind of Mahabharatas, War of Ramayana, then we so come to know that these kind of aeroplanes actually were not invented by European or Western like Wright brothers, and those grand atomic theories or that origin of universe kind of theories were not invented by discussed by originally by Einstein and Confucius or Plato. They had already been discussed by their ancient sages. These are the beliefs of nationalist kind of Hindu people. So like they give example Maharishi Bhardwaj. They believe that Hindu people believe that Maharishi Bhardwaj he had even invented rockets, aeroplanes, and they believe that Hindu people believe that Vishwamitra had not only invented but he had also used missiles. Like if we talk about Brahmastra. So Brahmastra, they compare the nationalistic Hindu people compare Brahmastra with modern nuclear weapons, because Brahmastra is supposed to be used during those days to destroy the whole thing in one shot. So similarly, Hindu people also believe that Acharya Kannad, he was father of atomic theory. Actually, if we talk about modern science, then John Dalton is considered as father of modern atomic theory. But according to this nationalist Hindu people, they believe that who was father of atomic theory? Acharya Kanad was father of atomic theory. Okay, so they regard Mahabharat accurately, so describing nuclear weapon. So Hindu people, those cutter Hindu people, those so very rigid Hindu people, those very so conservative Hindu followers, they believe that these kind of nuclear weapons and modern warfare technologies and weapons had already been invented by their ancestors. So they boast on that. Okay, they try to put their religion on top of other religion. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Then, so why don't we talk about Muslims? So coming to Muslim sect, then Muslim people also believe that these all origin of the universe, these all human civilization have been possible because of their Prophet Muhammad. So they regard this person, Prophet Muhammad, is the contributor, is the one who contributed for the civilization. So they believe that history so started after the revelation of the Quran, when people so were given to read Quran, then civilization started. So now to revolve around Muslim Ummah, so they believe that this Muslim Ummah, or this Muslim kind of belief system, is so responsible for the civilization starting up, or for the start of beginning of the civilization. But now look at here, there are other Muslim sects also, like Turkish, Iranian, and Egyptian nationalists. They believe that actually yes, like a Muslim might have been started from Prophet Muhammad, but because of this Turkish nationalism, Iranian people, because of Egyptian Muslims, actually Muslim or Islam could survive. Otherwise, Islam would have wiped out so early in the history, because of those Christian crusades or crusades or religious wars so initiated by those European people or Christian people. So these Turkish, Iranian, and Egyptian people, they like consider themselves as the sole protectors of these so Islam religion. Now, so Muslim people believe that prior to Muhammad, their particular nation was the fountainhead of all that was good about humanity, and then even after the revelation of the Quran, it was mainly their people who preserved the purity of Islam and spread its glory. Now look at here, even among Muslims, Turkish Muslims, Iranian Muslims, and Egyptian Muslims, they become a kind of more conservative, and then they regard that even before Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, came on this earth, it was their it was their tribes who actually did lot of things to preserve the purity of Islam and spread its glory. So in Islam also there is a kind of conflict between different sects like Shia, Sunni, and between different tribes, to consider oneself as the supreme protector of, to consider oneself as the supreme follower of Muslim notions, Muslim philosophies, Muslim faith. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So now look at here. Harari says that all these claims are false. Okay, every religion claims that are religious people, those conservative religious people claim that they, because of their religious gurus, because of their religion, the civilization on earth was possible. But all these claims are baseless. Isn't it? They don't have any foundations, they don't have any strong evidence to prove with scientific logics. So all these claims which are false. Why? Because now look at her again. Harari said that they combine a willful ignorance of history with more than a hint of racism. So now look at her. Those people who believe that the civilization of human was possible due to their religious notions. So what do? They actually act as ignorant of history. They try to present themselves as ignorant, and this actually shows that how much racist remark they make. Someone saying the human civilization possible due to their community, due to their tribe, due to their religion, is just an example of, is just a hint of strong racism. So, author further says none of the religions or nations of today existed when humans colonized the world. Okay, when the civilization first started, during those initial days, there were no religions. There was no Christianity. There was no Islam. There was no Judaism. So how come modern people claim that the civilization was possible due to their religious faith? So these all claims are false, baseless. And now look at here, domesticated plants were not there, animals were not there. Gradually, human beings they try to grow animals and plants. So they tried to build the first cities or invented writing and money. There was nothing in the beginning. When the civilization started, there was nothing. No concept of money, no concept of fiction, no concept of writing and literature. So all these things now modern people who claim that the civilization possible due to their faith all are false so claims because author gives us reason morality art spirituality and creativity. If we talk about these elements, if we talk about these factors are not because we follow some religious faith, we follow some religious philosophy. These morality art spirituality and creativity, they are actually embedded in every human DNA. So they are universal human abilities embedded already in our DNA from our very birth. So one religion, one philosophy, one religious sect cannot be given credit or cannot be wholly considered responsible for like imbibing for developing these kind of things. So their genesis was in Stone Age Africa. Actually, the author Harari believes that if we talk about human history, we have to believe that these all kind of history, human history, was possible from Stone Age and from Africa. So we should rather never be proud about these kind of things. So it is therefore Harari says crass egotism. Please note it. Crass egotism is having a kind of ego without a logic. To ascribe to them a more recent place and time, be they China in the age of Yellow Emperor, Greece in the age of Plato, or Arabia in the age of Muhammad. So what is the problem? The problem is when we claim that all human civilization progress have been possible due to only because of only our religious belief, then we have been the victim of crass egotism. So if Chinese people believe that the civilization started from Yellow Emperor, then of course they are trying to be very nationalistic, they are trying to be very conservative, they are trying to be very racist and regional. Okay, so these are the things. I hope you are getting the point, and if you are liking it or if you like it, please do not forget to share it with your friends. Okay, so now let's discuss much or more about crass egotism. So, on discussing this topic, crass egotism, the author says that he remembers an example of his yoga teacher in Israel. So, of course, Israeli people are Jew people, and so he says that how even a teacher, if somebody being so much educated, if they suffer from this kind of nationalistic or very kind of procreal thought, then they may come up with different logic to show their religion, sect, tribe superior than others. So he says that Abraham taught these postures to the son of one of his concubines who went to India and taught yoga to the Indians. So actually Harari's teacher told him that yoga was invented by Jewish people. So when Harari asked him how, then his teacher told him that replied him by saying that Abraham taught these posters to the son of one of his concubines. So and then he sent his son to India, and then his son or Abraham's son spread yoga to the Indians. Actually, so now Indians believe that yoga is their gift, but now these Harari's teacher believes that yoga is not Indian ancient sages gift. Actually, yoga originated from Jew people. Yoga's credit should be given to Jew people. Now, then now look at here. So when Harari asked him again, so what is the evidence? How can you claim that yoga is actually the gift of Judaism? Then his teacher came up with the Jewish Bible, which is called like Torah. Then he read one of the quote. So from Genesis, and Genesis means actually origin. Genesis, if you know the Bible, then Bible has also Genesis part. So in Genesis, you will be knowing about origin of universe. And to the sons of his concubines Abraham gave gifts, and while he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. What do you think these gifts were? So you see, even yoga was actually invented by the Jews. So these kind of very superficial claims, coming up with the evidence that does not support anything anyway. So this shows that if we suffer from these kind of parochial thoughts, this kind of conservative narrow-mindedness, this kind of very supreme egoistic thought, very nationalistic feelings towards one's religion, tribe, then we make very false claim. So the topic of this essay is humility. The writer does not want to, isn't it, be seen as aggressive one. The writer does not want to be seen, does not want to infuriate, does not want to make any religious people angry by being very down to earth. Humility means, what is the meaning of humility? Humility means very down to earth. Okay, humility means okay. So meekness. Humility means meekness, down to earthness. Okay, down to earthness. So the writer is presenting his ideas by referring himself as very down to earth. He is requesting every religious people to think in very positive mindset, with very positive mindset, with very logical mindset, not making any kind of claim based on feelings, emotions, based on the feelings of nationalism. That's not. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, overall, so what the author is trying here in this essay, he is debunking. Okay, he is debunking, challenging, shattering humanity's illusions of superiority and mastery. So, what are we suffering from? What are modern human beings suffering from? Modern human beings are suffering from the illusion. From what? Illusion of superiority, illusion of mastery. They believe that they are superior to other. They believe that they are master of everything. Hindus believe that civilization started from Sanskrit. Christian believe that civilization started from their church. Civilization started from their son of God. But these kind of belief system are just illusions. They are not facts. They are not truth. So he says that actually these kind of things present how ludicrous such self-important narratives are. So self-important narratives are very ludicrous, very let's say very ridiculous, isn't it? Very a kind of out of sense thing. So he wants to say that to puncture the hot air balloon, he wants to say that look, think on your thoughts philosophy very critically. So do not believe, do not judge anything, or do not believe that because of your religion everything is possible, as or not. So puncture the hot air balloons. Hot air balloon here refers to those kind of debates or discussions so filled with nationalistic, okay, feelings, filled with nationalism. So puncture your value, puncture your faith system, belief system. Try to think it very critically that you are believing in a wrong way, inflated by their own tribes. So do not be very tribal, do not be very sectorial, do not be very conservative. If you be that, then you will suffer from a kind of illusion. Okay, so this was for today, dear learners. I hope you like the lecture, and if you like the lecture, again my request is do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the like button and share it with your friends. Okay, so we will meet soon. This was for today. Have a good day ahead.